I started my YouTube channel just a little over a month ago, and I put out 14 to 15 videos, I believe, so far, and it's been a great experience. I never thought I would like the stopping and filming portion of this, but I've enjoyed it. It's got me to be more purposeful and more observant in what I'm doing in my own yard, in my own garden, at the project garden. Also gives me a lot of time to reflect on kind of what's happening in the world, and you know, I don't want this channel to ever be political, but today is a big day in waiting on the George Floyd verdict. And just so you know, I'm a retired police officer. I did my 20 years. I was fortunate enough to never shoot anybody, although I came close, and never being sued, which in a high litigation career, it's pretty amazing that I was able to get out with both of those goals checked off. I don't want to talk from a police perspective, that pro-police, but I want you guys to understand that there are bad cops out there, but there's also lots of good ones. We carry a lot of stress. We carry a lot of other people's burdens that we don't really realize that we're carrying on our shoulders. We can become harsh, we can become indifferent. I've been out of the career for 10 years, and I found in gardening a release, a place that I can go and peel the layers of the onion. Like cops are like onions, you know, you got to peel the layers to get to the soft, sweet center. And as we wait on this verdict, I hope justice is served. I hope that peace is what happens, regardless of the verdict. As a retired cop, I'm appalled at what I saw in that video, and it seems pretty obvious what the verdict should be, but I'm not a juror. I'm not there to judge anybody else. But the callousness in that act is not what good law enforcement officers represent. We're supposed to care. We're supposed to, you know, somebody's in our custody, we're supposed to take care of them, make sure they're okay, especially if they're under the influence or have health conditions. To the best of our ability, we should be sensitive to those things. But when you get in physical altercations with people, sometimes those things get forgotten. And in this case, it's the most glaring example of what should not be happening in law enforcement. But with that being said, let's keep our cities safe. Burning, looting, doing all those things, civil disobedience is not the answer. I'll never support that kind of action, but I do support peaceful protests. That people get out there and they tell their side of the story, and we need to change as a society. We need to be more tolerant. We need to do the right things. We need to care about each other. One person's winning does not mean another person's losing. Okay, we need to stop this partisan BS and get down to where we can cooperate, find common ground, and get back to a society that's worth living in. And right now, it's a tough one. It divides families as well as my own. It divides friendships. At the end of the day, human beings are human beings. And it's funny that if you're afraid of something, go find out more about it, because in the end, you'll have less fear by getting to know what it is that you're most afraid of. So let's get out of our comfort zone and let's try to find common ground. I want to leave this world better for my children, not try to go back in time for what would have been best for my generation or the generation before. We need to look ahead, and we need to say, hey, in this world that's always evolving and changing, what's going to be best for our kids? Because what we want as we get older is not really what's going to matter much in the next 10, 20 years. So with that being said, that's as political as I'm going to get. I wish everybody peace, happiness, and grow a garden. It's a great place to be.